You know when you order things online late at night and then you forget and then they arrive in the post? Well, I did that the other night. This just arrived. This is a wig, which I ordered online, and a couple of wig caps. Now, I tried wearing wigs a couple of years ago when I started getting alopecia. I just wanted to experiment and play around a little bit. And wigs, I don't think suit me, but I also don't think I knew what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing at all, and I've watched a lot of RuPaul's Drag Race, and if you want advice on how to wear wigs, you should always speak to drag queens because they know best. Also, because I have ectodermal dysplasia, I overheat. My body can't control its own temperature, so if my body temperature rises, I cook on the inside and then I pass out. So wigs are not the best for that anyway. Plus, I still have about half of my hair, I think. I've definitely lost more than half of it, and I like styling my hair with hats to cover the baldness and stuff, so I just haven't really experimented with wigs very much. But apparently the other night I felt the urge to purchase a wig, so let's try this wig on and see if it's ridiculous. I think the thing with wigs is that you need to style them. You often need to cut them to fit your face shape. And as I said, sorry, that's probably a lot of rustling. I'm not very good with that, but let's give it a go. Wig caps have to be one of the least flattering things in the history of the world. Something that I think people don't realise as well is that wigs are quite uncomfortable to wear, you know? But they're fun to play around with. Wigs often come with names, but this one doesn't. I'm not sure what we should call her. I don't know. Suggestions welcome in the comments section down below. See, this is what I mean by needing to style them. So the bangs are really, really, really long, so you can cut them to whatever length you want them to be. And then you can work out how to make them work with the hairline, because you want the hairline to look as natural as possible. I don't think this particularly suits me, actually, going very blonde, which is hilarious because I used to be very blonde when I was young. Also not sure that I suit bangs at all. I mean, also the thing with wigs is that they look more natural if you're wearing a hat. This is also not a high quality wig, this is a synthetic wig, so human hair wigs definitely look more believable, but this would be fun, I suppose, more for just dressing up purposes, having a bit of a laugh. Not something that I would wear on an everyday basis, but as I said, I probably wouldn't wear a wig on an everyday basis anyway. And given that they look more realistic if you're wearing a hat, and I wear hats anyway, then I don't know, why did I buy this wig? I'm not sure. Also, because now this is so much hair, I feel like I don't look like me at all, not just because of the colour, but because I am not used to having loads of hair anymore. Like, this is how much hair I used to have. Hermione levels of hair, and now I have obviously very thin hair because I've lost most of it. But yeah, I don't think I'm convinced about this, but I'll keep it in my wardrobe for a rainy day. I cut the fringe, but now I feel like I should be in Wayne's World, so I don't think that made it any better. Or maybe with a woolly hat. Is that better? I think that might be better. Perhaps one to keep for the winter months, given that we're moving into summer, but I think it can be rectified. It's a few days later. I've thought some more about the wig, which actually you can see up there. It looks like a quite flat cat. I need to find somewhere safe to put it. I think when I was experimenting with wigs last time, I really wanted something that would make me pass as someone who didn't have hair loss, something that didn't look like a wig. And I just don't really care about that anymore. You can spend a lot of money on human hair wigs that look like human hair, and they're amazing. And I know that so many people, especially with total alopecia, really value that. And I completely get that. But I think for me, I think I just want them to be a bit of fun. And therefore having a blonde wig, which is, I know I'm not that blonde anymore, but I used to be really blonde, is perhaps too close to what I may have looked like if I hadn't lost my hair. And I think that is the disassociation that I'm getting with myself when I look at it, and I'm like, well, it's trying to pretend that it's my hair, but I know it's not, and I don't like that. So instead, I've thought if I would like to use wigs in the future, and again, just occasionally, because I can't be bothered to do it every day, I think I need outrageous wigs. I think I need bright green wigs. I think I need blue wigs, rainbow wigs, things that are very obviously not my hair and are therefore just a bit of fun, something that I can play around with in a fashion accessory sense, like I do with my hats. So I have ordered this pinkish purple hair and this green bob, and I'm quite excited to try those on. So if those arrive before I finish filming this vlog, then I will include them, and if not, I'll show you in another video soon. Anyway, that's wig chat. I don't even think that I introduced this video. This is a reading vlog. Hi, we just started talking about wigs. We're about 5 minutes into it. I haven't talked about books yet. It's going to be a bookish video. Yesterday, I finished reading Gargoyles by Harriet Mercer, which is this book here, bright orange. This I was reading for Disability Readathon. Harriet refers to herself as a tourist into the world of illness and disability. She had a life-threatening condition that struck her 6 weeks after her 40th birthday and meant that she spent several months in hospital. So she's talking about the distance between, like, where do you sit in the realm of illness from that point of view, because she still has this condition, which is monitored, but it doesn't really affect her as much on a day-to-day basis anymore. Anyway, I thought this book was fantastic. I'll talk about it in my wrap-up, but I finished reading it yesterday because last night I was chairing an event with Harriet with Portobello Books in Edinburgh, obviously not in person because Edinburgh is very far away from where I am and the times that we live in, but it was really fun to chair, and it was online, and they're going to be uploading that Q&A to YouTube. I'm not sure if it will be available by the time this video goes up, but I will link their channel in the description box down below, and you can go and have a look if you would like to check that out. Now, because I've been reading lots of books for Disability Readathon, and as a disabled person, that is, as Nicole over at Books from Bed said, emotionally expensive. I love that phrase. I would have probably said emotionally exhausting, but I think emotionally expensive is more accurate. I need something as a bit of a break from the intensity of reading about disabled experiences, which I love doing and is really important, but as a disabled person, it's a lot to live that, advocate, which I do in my job as well, and then also consume to advocate more. So I need a little bit of a break, and I'm going to be reading Beneath the Skin by Nicci French, a Nicci French book that I haven't read yet. Slightly disappointed to see the size of the text. The text is so small, but I have read the first 30 pages this morning and I'm already sucked in, already really enjoying it. It's written in quite a conversational way. It's split between 3 different characters. We're reading the point of view of Zoe at the moment, and it's set during the summer in London, on Holloway Road, which is not that far from where I live. And thinking about London in the sweltering heat when you're getting on transport, oh, the memories of those times. It says it was hot, but that might give the wrong impression. It may make you think of the Mediterranean and deserted beaches and long drinks with colourful paper parasols dangling out of them. It's nothing like that. The heat was like a big, fat, old, smelly, mangy, greasy, farty, dying dog that had settled down on London at the beginning of June and hadn't moved for 3 horrible weeks. I feel that. I feel it in my soul. And also yesterday, a pre-order of mine arrived, which I am quite excited about. So this is Lonely Castle in the Mirror. I mean, this cover is stunning. This is by Mizuki Tsujimura, and it's translated from the Japanese by Philip Gabriel. And the blurb says, "Would you share your deepest secrets to save a friend? In a tranquil neighborhood of Tokyo, 7 teenagers wake to find their bedroom mirrors are shining. At a single touch, they are pulled from their lonely lives to a wondrous castle filled with winding stairways, watchful portraits, and twinkling chandeliers. In this new sanctuary, they are confronted with a set of clues leading them to a hidden room where one of them will be granted a wish. But there's a catch. If they don't leave the castle by 5 o'clock, they will be punished. As time passes, they begin to realise only those brave enough to share their stories will be saved." I just think that sounds really, really intriguing. Today in work, I'm going to film a video my editor is taking my new children's books into an acquisition meeting next week. And me being the over-pleasing, overachieving disabled child that I am still inside, she asked if I would write a few paragraphs so that she could present it to the rest of the team. But I think if I film a video about it and talk about it, then that may be more useful in general, and then I can read it out and they can listen to the text. So it's always exciting when new books are potentially happening, touch wood, but there is an illustrator that we would love to work with, and that may be happening, and if everything goes ahead, then it will be out autumn next year. So fingers crossed. I'm going to do that, and then I am going to go to Mr. M's mum's garden. She lives very close to us, right next to us, and she's asked if I will take some photos of her garden, because her garden is looking really beautiful at the moment. All of the tulips are out and it's lovely. So I thought, as I'm taking my camera to her garden to take some photos, I'll do a little montage showing you her lovely garden, because don't we love seeing spring images? So I will check back in with you with bookish things after I've done all of those things. The green wig arrived, and I feel like a Marvel character, so I need suggestions below of what my superpower should be, please. This is fun. I quite like it. Lola has been very diligently, what are you doing? Very diligently watching me bake a lemon meringue pie, which you can't really see because of the oven door. What? Are you cross because I haven't given you any of it? You can't have lemon meringue pie. I don't even think you would like it, Lola. Sorry, was that a snort to disagree with me? 3, Secretly a Unicorn. I finished listening to The Dead Ground by Claire McGowan last night, which is the second in the Paula Maguire series, and I still don't know how I feel about it. With the first 2, when I started listening to them, I thought, these are really good, they're compelling, I'm enjoying the plot. I like the characters because there are reoccurring characters throughout this series, but there's a bit of drama between them that there are too many misunderstandings. You know, I know you have to have misunderstandings in books, but when characters could really sort something out very quickly and they don't, and that miscommunication stretches across 2 books, that's just really, really infuriating. And in both cases, the result of the mystery hasn't been entirely satisfying. It relies on putting the main character, a woman, in danger. Both instances that has happened, and I find that a little bit boring, and then she has to be rescued. Feels a little bit tropey, but I still also get swept up in it, and each of them ends on a cliffhanger, and I think, well, maybe I should try the next one then. And it reminds me of when I was watching the TV show The Stranger, which, let's face it, we all watched because it has Richard Armitage in it. That was the reason that we kept watching. But I would like the time back that I spent watching that series, because I've never seen Lost, but it felt like Lost from what I've heard people say about it, in that it's so fascinating at the beginning, so many loose ends that you hope are going to get tied up, and then there is no satisfying resolution, and you just think, why have I invested my life into this? So I'm worried that this crime series is gonna feel like that the longer on that it goes. I may try the 3rd one, but I have had a recommendation of a crime series from someone who says it really reminds them of Frida Klein. So I've started listening to the first one of that. Let me grab my phone so I can tell you what it is. Okay, it is Someone Else's Skin by Sarah Hilary. And I really love the narrator. I think that she's great. I mean, I've only listened to half an hour of it, but so far, so good. And I will let you know as I read more. I find it rather funny that I started this vlog 10 days ago, having bought a blonde wig online, half asleep, at midnight, and not knowing if I wanted to keep it. Not that you can really return wigs, but you know what I mean. I wasn't sure that I'd made a good decision. And it is, as I said, now 10 days later, and I now own 5 wigs, and I'm having a great time. As I said, don't think I'm going to wear them every day, but it's been fun to play around with them, fun to accessorize, think about clothes, like just play. It's been fun to play. This is not, as I said, about passing for someone who doesn't have hair loss. It's just about playing around with stuff and having a bit of fun, which I kind of feel like I haven't had in a while. So that's been nice. That has been nice. And also I found that wearing wigs is much more comfortable or less uncomfortable than it was for me 3 years ago, because I have much less hair now. Probably the reason it was very uncomfortable last time was because it just felt like a lot of pressure having my hair crammed in and then the wig. Obviously, even though it is more comfortable, the overheating thing still stands, but it's not hot in the UK yet, so it's fine. And I was looking up there because I thought someone might shout at me and tell me to take care of the wigs because I'd left one wig up there in another clip. Don't worry, I have packaged them away safely. I am taking care of my hairy children, though, especially this hairy child. She is the most important hairy child, aren't you, Lola? She's been sitting in the sun over there. I don't think she's that happy that I've just pulled her out of the sunshine. Do you want to go sit in the sun again? This patch of sun. She's like a cat like that, going to soak up the sun. I haven't finished any more books since I last talked to you, but I have read 2/3 of this, which is Beneath the Skin by Nicci French. I don't think that I would have bought this book if it wasn't by Nicci French, just going by the blurb. I bought it because I love them and I trust them, but the blurb itself says that it's about 3 women who are being stalked by one man. The women don't know each other. This man is sending them threatening letters saying that he wants to kill them. And male violence against women is hard to escape in crime books, which I completely get because it's life, but it's the way that it's written about. Often in crime books, it feels gratuitous or cliched or romanticized even. Sometimes you don't hear from the women very often. Often a woman is killed, a detective comes in, then you're with the police and you're solving the crime. But this book, you are with these women. You're inside their head, it's first person. You spend time with these women one at a time. First woman is Zoe, second one is Jenny. I haven't read Nadia's section yet. And these women are written so complexly, and I loved all of the interactions they had with people that they know. Nicci French, husband and wife writing duo, are so good at writing friendships, but also just groups of people and social dynamics. Dinner parties is one of their specialities. They're so great at setting a scene and making people feel really believable. And what this book does is really examine patriarchy. It's looking at all of the relationships with that these women have with men in their lives, not just the man who's writing them these letters, but the way that men in general treat them, and how toxic that is in some cases, how dismissive it is in others, which is also toxic. Some of the men in their lives aren't fussed that they're getting these horrible letters. They think it's not a big deal. They don't understand how unsafe women feel walking around London at night. They don't understand the things that these women are thinking about on a daily basis. They trivialize the violence. And I think that makes this book, it takes this book to another level. It's not a crime book that is, or it doesn't feel like to me exploiting people's experiences for a good plot. I appreciate they're also trying to write a good plot, but they are saying more than that. They're saying a lot more than that. So I am really enjoying this, and I will speak about it more in my wrap up, because obviously I don't know the ending of this book yet, and crime thrillers often do heavily rely on the ending as to whether or not I would recommend it. But so far, 2/3 of the way through, I would very much recommend it. So that is Beneath the Skin. I am going to disappear now. I'm going to edit this vlog and upload it. I am going to be making a video this week which kind of ties in a little bit with my discussion on wigs, but I want to talk about disfigurement and disability and the world right now, and going back out into the world a little bit and what that feels like. I got my second vaccination 10 days ago now. I was thinking, when was that? 10 days ago. So in a few days' time, once that vaccination is kicked in, because it takes a couple of weeks to be at the highest amount of immunity that you can get from the vaccinations, I'm going to start going to my hospital appointments in person again, which I'm really thankful for. I'm very much looking forward to that. It does mean getting on the tube, etc., which I haven't done for over a year. And anyway, I just have general thoughts about the way that disability is being viewed at the moment, and I would like to have a sit down and a chat later this week about that. So that's what I'm going to do then, but I'm going to stop talking for now, and I hope that you all are doing well. I don't have anything else to say. I will speak to you very soon. I love you all very much.